a young man faces unexpected news about impending fatherhood. Refusing this role, he tries to find a compromise, balancing his wishes and the feelings of his ex-girlfriend, who has decided to keep the child. Through a series of emotional conversations and difficult decisions, this story prompts reflection on responsibility, freedom of choice, and the complexities of adult life. This is Real Talk Tales, the channel where I share real people's stories. I'm 25 years old and had been dating my ex, who's 23, for just over 3 months. I always made sure we took plenty of precautions during sex. She was on birth control, and I always used condoms. I wanted to avoid having a child because I've known for a long time that I don't want to be a parent. However, my ex missed her period, and it turned out she was pregnant. The first thing I did was suggest an abortion. We don't live in a state where that's legal, so I offered to pay for her flight and hotel, and said I'd be happy to go with her to do it. I have a stable job and earn well, so it wouldn't be too big a hit for me. She works as a secretary and doesn't earn much, so I figured it was better for me to pay. Then she told me she hoped to keep the baby and wanted me to help raise it as a father. I have no intention of being a parent. It's not just that I don't like kids. I'm not ready for it. I made it clear that I didn't want a child, but she kept insisting I would change my mind when it's born, and that I should just try. I said I wouldn't be a father and broke up with her. I said I would pay child support when the baby is born, but expect her to respect my wishes and keep the baby away from me. Since then, she's been frantically messaging me. She sent me voice messages crying. It's been painful, but I haven't responded. Recently, she texted me saying she can't raise the child alone, and that I'm essentially forcing her into an abortion by walking away. She called me a jerk, abuser, and sexist. She ended the message with a plea to talk again. I do feel bad, of course. I really liked her, and, up until this, we had a good relationship, but I just don't want to be a father. I'm already upset that I'll have to pay child support for 18 years, which will limit me financially. I also believe it's not fair to the child. I would just take my anger and bitterness out on the child who did nothing wrong. And that, I think, is wrong. With that in mind, I came here to ask if I'm the bad guy. I absolutely feel like one, but I also believe I did the right thing. Viewer comments. First set. If she goes through with the pregnancy, you should also ask for a paternity test since you actively tried to prevent pregnancy. She can do a blood test during pregnancy with no risk to the child. This needs doing before you're on the birth certificate. You've only been together for 3 months. Honestly, it makes me wonder if she was actually on birth control, since the odds of getting pregnant with condoms and pills over 3 months should be very low. Her thought that he will change his mind once the baby is born is a huge red flag to me. My husband and I used this method for 4 years without fear. We had to time sex right even to intentionally get pregnant, so her story seems a little shocking to me. Try. You'll like it if you just try. Smart logic for trying new food, but not so great for parenthood. Don't have a child if you don't want kids. Even don't have a child if you're sure you're fully committed to it. Wait, kids don't have a 30-day free trial you can cancel at any time? Additional information. Regarding vasectomy, I tried. I met with a doctor last year and inquired about it, but he refused and said all the doctors he knows won't perform it until you're 30. It's a conservative state. While I don't like this policy, I was born and raised here, so I am still tied to my birthplace and have never felt the urge to leave. On our first date, I asked her if she was on birth control, and she said yes. Maybe it was foolish just to believe her, but if she lied, she'd be the first I met to lie about it. Most girls I've dated take it seriously. Few girls want a baby with a random guy, so I assumed she was on birth control because it's the primary method I know of. But maybe she was taking something else I'm not knowledgeable enough about. With this in mind, I will take your advice and contact a lawyer, plus get a paternity test. I don't know how long this will take, but once I do it, I will report here with the results. Thank you for your judgments. Update 1. First, I've hired one of the best family law attorneys in my state. She has someone representing her. My ex and her representative were made clear that they are not to contact me personally, and that all contacts would go through my attorney from now on. We've scheduled the test to get results. If the child is mine, we will go to court to set up child support and prepare to give up my rights. Another point of clarity. I've been away for a while, and reading some of the comments, I found a theme I'd like to clarify for those who are still checking this topic and care. Initially, I said I made sure I took plenty of precautions. I think people didn't understand that I clearly stated from the start that I have no intention of having kids. I just wanted to clarify that. She told me she didn't want kids. I guess I should have been clearer about it, so I was shocked when she changed her mind after we found out she was pregnant. I understand that it can happen when feelings change or whatever, but for me, it was a significant shock. When I get the paternity test, she will also do an ultrasound, and then we'll talk. Update 2. Sorry for the delay, but I took the test and got the results. It's a girl, and she's indeed mine. When I saw my ex, I talked to her. We discussed contraceptives, and she told me she was on birth control and didn't intend to have a child. But when she found out she was pregnant, she changed her mind. I believed her. She was hoping I would come around to the idea as well, but I made it clear I would not be part of the child's life, and offered her 3 options. Option 1. Have an abortion in any state of her choice, and I'd pay for her stay there for a week, so she could take a vacation to Hawaii, New York, Los Angeles, on my tab. But I needed to come and get proof she'd had the abortion. Option 2. Give the child up for adoption. I'd cover all medical costs associated with the birth. Option 3. Keep the child, and I'll pay court-appointed child support. Give up parental rights, have my name removed from the birth certificate, and have no relationship with her or the child except monthly payments. It was a tough conversation, and she didn't take it well. She ended up crying for a while. She kept telling me I'd be a loving and kind father, pleaded for me to try parenthood, and think about how good our relationship was before this happened, and imagine our future together with a daughter. I said I was still firmly against parenthood, and she was devastated. She refuses to have an abortion, but is scared of being a single mother at 23, even though she wants the child. She told me that if I'm with her during birth, see, and hold the baby, and still feel nothing for her after all that, she will consider adoption. And she also said if I change my mind about parenthood, she'll wait for me with open arms. I made it very clear I don't want any involvement. I'm not sure what to do, since I'd prefer to give the child up for adoption rather than pay child support for 18 long years. But I also don't want to be around the baby or present during birth. I'd appreciate some advice. Comments? Second set. I understand you don't want this child, but damn, she's a girl. Maybe she'll keep the baby, and it will be the best thing that happens to her. I can't imagine being in your or her position. My dad tried to do that. When I needed him, he wasn't around. When I was successful, he wanted a son. Don't take it out on the child. You'll regret it. Grown men know better than to put in what they don't want to come out. It has nothing to do with money or future earnings. You're young, and nobody can blame you for wanting nothing to do with the mother. But now, it seems easy to get rid of your legacy. Then maybe there will be a strong urge to see your child. As we age, we all change and grow as individuals. I was in your daughter's position, and in yours. In college, I had a similar scare, and we were terrified. I was ready to help with the baby. Luckily, she wasn't pregnant. Your daughter will be a significant part of your life forever. Wishing you all the best. Update 3. Finally, I want to share how I wrote a letter based on someone's advice whose father came back and then left. I was advised not to go back, but to write a letter to my daughter for closure. I have no intention of going back, so I thought it was a great idea. In the letter, I will explain why I'm not there and this whole situation. I'll be honest, but try to be delicate. The aim is to make it clear that I left not out of any particular hatred towards her, but simply because I never wanted to be a parent. I'll also write about how hard her mother tried to make me change my mind and how much her mother loves her. In conclusion, I'll wish her well in life. The letter will be officially witnessed by a notary and signed by me and my ex. When she turns 18, and if she has questions about me and wants answers, my ex should give her the letter. If the letter doesn't satisfy her and she wants answers, I'll allow her to talk to me personally. I feel obliged to answer her questions personally, if it's what she needs for closure. My ex also insisted on having my name on the birth certificate, and I agreed. This story highlights the importance of clear communication and responsibility in relationships. Despite taking precautions, unexpected situations can arise that have a significant impact on life. A sincerely shared perspective and willingness to compromise can help avoid such complex circumstances. It's important to make decisions considering not only your feelings, but also those of others. This case also demonstrates how crucial conscious parenthood and mutual agreement on future actions regarding the child can be. Thank you for watching this incredible story with us. If it was interesting or valuable to you, like and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss the next stories.